Hey guys, it's Arson again. Hey! And I'm back for my second video. And I decided to do a my first tag. I saw this on YouTube while I was just kind of scrolling around looking at my favorite YouTubers. And I decided to do this for myself because I thought it was kind of a good way for you to get to know me. And since I'm still new and this is only my second video. So let's get started. Alright, so my first phone. That probably was, I remember. I don't remember what it was called, but it was like a slide-out keyboard. It's kind of like this, but not quite. It was orange. I remember that. My first time out of the country, I can't quite remember. I'm so sorry. It's one of either two times, honestly. It's either when my grandma took me and my brother and my two cousins up to the Soo Locks up in Michigan, and in UP, Michigan. UP. That's kind of a term that we use around here, and you've probably heard it before, but I don't know. Anyways, Upper Michigan. And it took us through the American Canadian, so I guess you could technically count that as my first time out of the country, but my technical first time out of the country was when my grandma, same grandma, for her 50th, I believe, anniversary back in 8th grade, she took me and the entire family. It was like a $20,000 trip. It was freaking crazy. And she took us all down to Mexico, actually, down to the Yucatan Peninsula, and it was pretty interesting. It was a family resort, but it was connected to a topless beach. So one of my male cousins, that we were all like middle schooler, freshman age, and it was apparently the first pair of boobs he's seen, because he walked on and he's like, boobs, and he pointed straight at her, and it was hilarious because my older cousin kind of flipped out. And by the way, I drew my hand. There you go. Yeah, I drew my hand, so if you see that, don't worry about it. It's just me doodling. But anyways, back to Mexico. So, and then after that had happened, he had been approached by a drug dealer, actually, and my aunt had to run up and explain to the drug dealer that he was only 15, so the dude kind of did a tailspin. But that was my first time out of the country. My first word, kind of funny, it was no. I would say all the time, no matter what my mom asked, it would just be no. And I'm pretty proud of that. My first, dream job was probably, I wanted to be a singer, because way back then I thought I was, the best singer ever. I say that and I kind of want to do covers, but hey, I'm really not the best. I'm gonna be honest. I might not even end up doing covers on this channel unless they're parody covers and just stupid crap. Okay, and then my first YouTube video. My first video on the channel is the one I did last week, and my first actual YouTube video was a video I did on Free Roams, actually, and I was in the video. I didn't actually make it myself. One of my friends did. Her name's Jade. And we just did a music video cover, and so that was technically my first video. But my first video with my face, that was back in 8th grade. Again, that was a crazy time, apparently. And I did a Adele cover. I deleted the video. The channel's still up. There's nothing on it, so there's kind of no point in looking it up unless you want to try to see if I'm lying. I'm not going to tell you the name so you guys can have fun. I don't think there's any pictures or anything linked to me on that, so hey. But yeah, anyways. So that was my first YouTube video. First person I subscribed to on YouTube. That was, I'm probably butchering the way you pronounce it, but it was probably Nigahiga. Because my cousins showed me his How to Be Emo video. That is a 2010 2010, 2012 throwback for some of you guys, if you remember that. But that was my first subscribe. My first Facebook profile picture, if I'm correct, it is a picture of me back when I was like 6 or 7, and I'm holding up this kitten, and it looks like I'm strangling this poor thing. And I thought that was an okay profile picture. But yeah. So that was my first profile picture. Do you still talk to your first love? Never really been in love, so guess not. Unless you want to count, where is he? Where's my baby? Here he is. Unless you count Piplup, then I still talk to him. I still cuddle with him. I'm sorry. What was your first job? My first job would be probably just babysitting. I babysat for no, it wasn't babysitting. I worked with my uncle. It was in 8th grade. We had a job shadow day, and I had to go work with my uncle in his office. I kind of worked as a secretary, and what I did basically was I would file his cabinets for him. Yeah, fun job. I got paid pretty well though for the 2 days that I actually worked there, because he gave me an actual paycheck, and it was really cool because I was like, what? But my first car, I still have my temp, so who knows? First person I text today, my phone's pretty dead. Like, nobody texts my phone. If you count, like, yeah, no, that's like, I only count really texting as texting on my phone, so when you got a phone like this, not many people text you. Hey. Who's the first person I thought of this morning? Not really anybody. I kind of just woke up. Maybe my mom, because I was wondering if she was out of the bathroom so I could take my shower this morning. That's nothing exciting though. My first grade teacher. My first teacher ever was Miss Minor, and I love that woman to death. She was so sweet, and she was a preschool teacher. And my first grade teacher, I do not remember her name for the life of me. I just remember I remember. I don't remember her name, but I know she transferred schools and became like a principal over there. But she was really sweet too, and I actually really did like her. Everybody liked her. And then she was replaced by this, I went to private school, like a Catholic school, if you don't know, which you probably don't, because I haven't mentioned it before, obviously. And, she was replaced by a nun. Oh, she was a lovely woman. Who did I go for on my first ride on an airplane? It was with my mom. I don't know if my dad went. I don't think he did. It was with my mom and my brother and me, maybe my sister. I don't quite remember. But we all went down to Florida because the neighbors I had grown up with had split, and the wife took one of their daughters and went to Florida. Just bye. And so we went down there to visit her, and it was really fun. But that was I was maybe 10, so I hardly remember it. All I remember is meeting some kid from Pennsylvania whose dad who collected a lot of seashells. So if you're that kid and you're watching this, hey, I still remember you. You probably don't remember me. Who was your first best friend, and do you still talk? My first best friend ever, her name was Erica. I'm not gonna give her last name just in case she doesn't want people to know, because I know her mom worked for the government, and so she had to move a lot, and so I met her in kindergarten, and I haven't talked to her since she moved, so it's all kinda like that. Awkward, I guess you could say. I honestly miss her, though. I kind of wonder what would have happened if she stayed, because me and her were really tight. Like, she was my first sleepover, which I was going to mention later, but I might as well just talk about now. She was my first sleepover, and my favorite memory is sitting in the car and listening to Kids Bop 4 on our way. It was like it was one of the earliest Kids Bop. Like, we were little kids back then. And, we were going to The Incredibles. And after we finished watching that, we had gone to McDonald's for dinner. And the funniest thing I remember is her parents were waiting for the food to come. So we're like, hey, let's see how many things we can fill up with ketchup. So we got like 10 each. So we had like 20 things of ketchup at our table. And her parents could, what the heck is going on? And I just thought it was the most hilarious time. We both did. Because we were, again, in, like, kindergarten. And, I'm pretty sure I stayed the night over there. And I remember she had a dog that had died of cancer, and she was really wealthy, and so they had, like, a bunch of other dogs, and I remember it was really cool because she had a popcorn machine, and I thought that was the fanciest thing in the world. Excuse me. Because we've never been very wealthy, I suppose. Not, like, trying to beg for anything, I'm just being honest. Yeah, my next question was first sleepover. First thing I did this morning, I woke up, turned off my alarm, and took a shower. Pretty exciting, I know. What was the first concert I ever went to? It was, Anthem Lights. It was, I think, sophomore year. I went with one of my friends because she's in a youth group, and her mom is like the pastor, and her boyfriend's parents are like the leaders of the youth group. So every once in a while they'll go to concerts and stuff and be like, hey, you want to come along, friend? We all like you. So I just joined along, and I actually got to see Skillet with them live at an amusement park, so that was really cool. That was really exciting. That was my favorite concert to go to ever because I love Skillet, man. A first broken bone. I cracked a bone in kindergarten. What I did there was me and my brother, every morning we had a moth that would fly around our house. So we made it like our morning routine to go and catch this moth. Well, one morning it decided to fly on the roof, and I, being the brilliant preschooler, said, hey, let's take a bar stool and our little plastic red tyke chairs, and stack them on top of each other and climb it so we can catch this moth. Well, my brother, being older than me, because I'm the baby in the family, he's like, yeah, no, I'm not climbing that. If you want to do that, you go right ahead. I'll hold it for you. Yeah, as soon as it started tilting, he let go, and I fell, and I cracked my elbow. And my sister was in charge of us that day, and she had to rush us to the hospital, and that was fun for the both of us. I'm pretty sure she was actually still in high school at the time, so there's that. Oh, excuse me. My first piercing, my ears. Not that exciting. I have quite a few piercings I want to get. Well, not quite a few. The biggest piercing that I really want to get is snake bites. And then later on, I might try some other stuff, get it out before it heals and scars and all that nasty stuff. First movie I remember seeing. The first movie I remember seeing, this is probably going to age me, but I remember going to the movie theater with my grandma and my brother and my cousins and seeing The Lion King. Not 2 or any of that, but the first Lion King. And that was really exciting for me. What was my first detention? Okay, so this goes back to my private school, which I only went there till 5th grade. And they had this system where you had 3 chances to get your homework in before they gave you a detention for it. Yeah, they gave you detention for not doing your homework. Well, me being a slacker and a procrastinator, I wasn't much better in elementary. I mean, granted, I had all A's and B's. I was always on the honor roll. I thought it was a pretty easy thing until I got to middle school. But anyways, I had always been in detention. I think that streak had started in like 2nd grade, and it was to the point where I got the nickname Detention Queen. Oh yes. Achievement. Life achievement. Not really. Who was my first roommate? I guess my brother, because we used to share bunk beds when we were little. And then after my parents had gotten divorced, we moved into an apartment, and I shared a room with him again. And then we moved to another place. It was a little condo. And I shared a room with my mom, actually, because at that point he was older than me, and she's like, he's starting puberty, let's separate these two. So, that's how that went. If you had one wish, what would it be? That's getting a little deep for this video, and this is already running a little long, so I'm going to save you that one for another video. Leave it down in the comments below if you want to see that video. I'm going to leave off there today because, like I said, this is getting really long, and you're probably tired of hearing me at this point and seeing my crappy video quality and my crappy voice quality. So, I'm going to leave it here, guys. I hope you enjoy my channel. I hope you guys enjoy what I do, and maybe subscribe, yeah? Leave a couple likes, and like I said, comment down below what you want to see in the next video, maybe. And that's it. Bye!